Yo, welcome back to another podcast episode of Stars Talking Cowboys. Starring Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nikki is in the building.
You gonna dig this. Let's go.
What up, people? What's good for the night?
What's going on, Foxy? What's going on, player? How's everything?
Oh man, oh my God, I miss Cowboys football just past Sunday. So football season, bye weeks. We know bye weeks are needed for the teams to get healthy and to regroup and for the guys to get a mental break from the from the sport. But us fans, we suffer.
I don't know. I enjoyed it though because I like watching the other teams. I like to scout other teams actually, point out certain weaknesses that they may have because we may play them. So I don't mind. I don't mind. Plus, going into the break, man, we needed this, man. We have a lot of players that's been injured, who we need them to be strong for the playoff run. So I didn't mind it, to be honest with you. I like watching the other teams play, and there's a lot of parity in the league anyway, which I really don't like, but it is what it is. So it was very interesting last Sunday. It was very interesting.
Yeah, what's up, Kelly? What's up, Stony? Well, yeah, like I said, for me, I missed it. Like you said, I definitely got a chance to watch other teams, um, but it's still nothing like watching the Cowboys. You can't get mad you can't get mad if the Ravens offensive tackle knocks the ball out of Lamar Jackson's hand. That because I'm not gonna say it's not our business, but it's not our business. So you can't really get mad at stuff like that, or you can't get happy because the the Jets beat the Bills, and I'm just talking from a Cowboy standpoint, unless you got
Okay.
some a vendetta against the Bill. So I guess that's how it is for me.
Nah, I got a pool. I've been playing pool too. I got a pool, so I'm like, yo, they better win. They
Okay.
better. Oh no, they didn't let them score. So I'm like, bet. I'm like, happy 1 minute, sad the next. So it is what it is.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then I'll go with that because the last 2 weeks
Yeah,
I've done pretty good. I won. I won the pool at work. I had one loss going into the Monday night game, so I ended up having a
that's
week
good.
with only one loss. And this week I lost 3 games. Well, three
I
and
did
one and
too.
four in the other. So, um,
Man, the Jacksonville Jaguars. The week I don't pick them, and the Raiders were up by 17. I was like, bet. The Bills was up by 14. They lost. I'm like, what's going on? I was like, I'm done. And then the Seahawks came back and beat the Cardinals. So I'm like, what's going on? I guess it wasn't meant to be this week, huh?
well, I definitely, I definitely picked I picked the Jaguars to win, of course. Uh,
Wow.
but it is what it is. But before we get into football, and with you being from the East Coast,
Oh no, it is coming. Oh my God, it's coming.
we have to talk about this.
I know. It's coming.
We just have to, and like I guess it's fortunate that we don't have the Cowboys this week, so we can talk about other subjects. But Kyrie in his situation here, I'm torn,
Mm.
and what I mean by torn is that did he make I don't want to say a dumb mistake, but did he probably could have not said what he said or retweeted what he retweeted? Yeah, but it's the punishment that he's getting, the backlash that he's getting. Is it worth it? Is it worth the backlash? Why aren't people boycotting Amazon, who is somewhat of a sponsor of this video or
Mm.
movie or article or whatever the hell it is? You get what I'm saying?
No, listen, being on the East Coast and going through a lot of the issues between the Black community and the Jewish community for years, on top of years, I understand this whole thing that's going on right now with Kyrie. And not only just Kyrie, just in general. I mean, you can't say anything that's harsh to one set of community leaders who controls a communication vehicle, right? And so, because they control it, you're not supposed to go against the norm. And when you go against the norm, you're going to get ridiculed. And what Kyrie said was not wrong. It's just the fact that his timing was a little off with certain things. And the thing is, he wasn't the one that produced that film or that video. It wasn't him. It wasn't him. He was just promoting it, which basically sometimes you have to be careful what you do on social media because anything that you post on your sites, you're promoting it. And so you got to understand too that the commissioner, both commissioners in the NBA are from Westchester County. One is from Rye, New York, and the other one's from Scarsdale. Heavily Jewish communities in both. And I'm from White Plains, so I know, I've seen it. And moving to White Plains too, I mean, moving to Jersey, you see it. There's heavily Jewish communities in Brooklyn, New York, upstate New York. You have it here in New Jersey. So you see it. So anytime you say anything about the Jewish community, you have to be sensitive of the message that's being conveyed. You have to be sensitive. I know that everybody says, well, Kyrie should say what he want to say, but because Kyrie is a celebrity, you're a celebrity in the public eye, you have to be cognizant of the message that you are actually sending to the media, especially one of the biggest platforms in the world, the NBA. Then you have Amazon. Jeff Bezos is Jewish, but nobody's going to go after Jeff. Why? Because he's the CEO, but he doesn't control the day-to-day operations. He has other individuals to do that. That's what CEOs do. They just oversee certain things. If they need to put their foot down, they will, but he's not going to do it because he's making money. Amazon has their hand in everything. But I'm praying for my brother Kyrie. I mean, it's dividing a lot of even black people here on the East Coast. They go on each other. Friends are going on each other because they don't believe in what he said. If somebody believes what he said, he need to be more outspoken. No, he doesn't. And it's just tearing each other up. It's just tearing us apart. And that's what I hate the most. That's what I hate the most. It's tearing the black community up more than it's doing the Jewish community, to be honest with you. It's just crazy.
Well, the thing, like I said, I'll go back. You know, according, how you view what he said is obviously is opinion. Um, like you said, some people, it's torn a lot of people. Um, I always go back to the Dave Chappelle show when he had the little comedy bit on keeping it real when keeping it real goes wrong.
I just
Um,
watched that the other night.
I mean, it's. I think we live in a society now where not only does the truth hurt, but people don't want to hear the truth. People would rather people would rather, believe a lie. They would rather believe a conspiracy theory. They
Hmm.
would rather, and this is definitely true in the sports world. They would rather believe somebody else's opinion instead of forming their own. And I think that is where society has taken a big downfall. And it's affecting, like you said, communities, um, and it's dividing families. You know, on
Mm.
all sectors, and but the business side of it is where I'm sort of torn. Um, he said what he said. He came back and he apologized.
Mm.
Um, but he spoke, how he felt. For him to lose his endorsement, okay, I get it. These companies can pick and choose who they want to give their money to. So I get that. On the flip side, his job has said, we're about to suspend you for, I guess, up to 5 games,
Yeah,
and
five
now
games.
they're even talking about the Nets are talking about even whether they even want him back or not.
You know, they,
That
they
that
gave him stipulations of basically what he needs to do for him to come back, which is crazy. It's just crazy.
You're right. So me, and I know this is extreme when I say this, but me, I'm drinking this cup of high C orange from McDonald's, which I really don't need, but I'm drinking this cup of high C orange from McDonald's, and I decide that because I like the cup because it's clear that I'm gonna walk in Burger King and buy a drink, but I want to put it in my McDonald's cup, and then Burger King bans me from coming in there. Now I done already bought the cup.
Mm,
That cup is mine because I bought it, so I could put it in whatever I want to. And I know that's extreme. That's extreme to this scenario, but the man said how he felt, and is it wrong to say how you feel about something?
shouldn't be. You should be able to come out and say how you feel. You should be. You should be. But look at what
I
happened
mean,
to Kaepernick too. Kaepernick said how he felt, and you see what happened to him. Muhammad
so
Ali, same thing about going to the war in Vietnam. Same thing. It's just crazy.
and I don't want to make this a political, so please don't take my next statement as a political statement because I definitely want to keep it on sports. But look at what happened with Trump when he said what he said. Yeah, he lost some respect from one side, but he damn near tripled his popularity on another
Mm,
side
mm, mm,
by
mm.
saying controversial things. I don't see I don't see him losing any. He might have lost you know some minorities. Maybe going to visit some of his whatever his support. But hell, he gained a lot more. People started flocking to his stuff just because it was him now. The people who had the same,
I know.
mentality that he had. So that's why I'm
Mm.
kind of like, this Kyrie thing. I'm not supporting what he said. I'm kind of like Stephen A. I hate to agree with Stephen A. I really do. But Stephen A. was like, the young man probably could have kept his mouth shut about certain situations, especially being a public figure that he is. But if Brett Favre is still walking around here, um, and nobody's really saying nothing else about all the money that he took from Mississippi and all the controversy that was surrounding him, and then some of the other stuff that has went on, Aaron Rodgers and some of the stuff he's done, then why is Kyrie going through what he's going through? What's up, Nikki?
Cause what's up, Nick? What's going on?
Hey, hey.
Kyrie's just Kyrie. You got Kyrie and you got Kanye. They both said some things about the Jewish community, and now there's backlash from it. Both of them has done it, and then you have other entertainers not supporting them, some supporting them. So it's like you damned if you do, damned if you don't in this particular situation. And that's the thing. And then it tears up our community because it's like, yay, I believe in Kyrie. No, that was stupid what he did. So it's like you going back and forth. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? What are we doing? We're gonna support the brother now. What do you want to do? Are you just looking out for your money, or are you just looking out for basically integrity? Which one is it? Is it money or integrity? Which one is it? So it's just crazy. I had a really deep conversation with my brothers, and it's just real deep. Sometimes you get heated arguments because of it. It's just real deep right now.
You got anything on that, Nikki?
Who, on Kyrie?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Nope. I mean, everybody else say what they want to say. So why he can't say what he want to say? My only thing I said is I just need the players to just educate themselves on things before they make certain comments and make certain statements, because when you don't have the proper education on things that you're talking about, this is the type of backlash that's going to come to you, and folks are going to judge you no matter what. But at least if you are totally educated on what you're speaking out on and what you're saying on, they you can make them stand down quickly. I don't. I mean, I just think the Nets is a brand. The front of his shirt says Nets. The back of it says his name. So they're gonna always feel as though they are in control. They want to always protect their brand, and that's what these players have to understand and realize when they sign these big contracts, when they sign with these teams, that when it all falls, right, no matter what they say, how they say it, even though there's freedom of speech, the team is gonna protect their brand. They're gonna do whatever they can to protect their brand in society. It's a shame, but it is what it is. But I just prefer I want them to educate themselves on things before they just put stuff out there going behind what somebody else said or somebody else put out there and they following behind it and saying it. Whether you believe it or you don't believe it. Still educate yourself on it before you do it. So when stuff comes to the forefront on you, you can sit at the table and you can talk to them with the right mind frame, the right intelligence, and you can break down to them why you said what you said.
And I 100% agree with that. Education, is not only just the education part, but it's not always good just to follow the norm without, as you said, educating yourself. Um, like I said earlier, even though and you're right, Nikki, even though the Nets are a brand and this and another, I'm really thinking that a lot of this that is happening to him isn't necessarily because the owner is trying to protect the Nets brand. I think that it's more of that Kyrie didn't answer his phone calls and is not following the steps and the guidelines of what this owner wants. And that's where, I'm like I said, I'm torn at. Yes, I work for a company. I do. I work for a company, and and the company doesn't want me to go out there bad mouthing them, and they don't want me to, um, bring a bad, bring any kind of negativity on their brand. But at one point, does my personal feelings towards something, do I have to keep my mouth shut if I feel strong about something just because my company wants me to protect the brand? Where's the individuality of that? And I think we learned a lot from this Washington scandal that happened, last year with the John Gruden situation, where players are getting chastised and suspended and um, ridiculed about some of the stuff they're saying. But hell, look at the emails and everything that's been put out among owners, and those are just the ones that we saw. I'm pretty sure there's a million other emails out there where a owner or a general manager or somebody like that has said something derogatory towards an individual. I would bet my life on it. So we just have to be careful.
I don't know.
And
Kyrie's a really smart dude. He didn't go to Duke for nothing, and he understands the landscape of the Black and Jewish community here on the East Coast. He understands. He's smart. Kyrie's very smart. It's just the fact that sometimes when you believe in something so strongly, you don't care what anybody says. It's not just the Nets. It's the NBA as a brand. And the commissioner for the NBA, like I stated before, is Jewish. He's from Rye, New York. David Stern, the other commissioner from the NBA, was from Scarsdale, New York, a Jewish community. 15 minutes apart from where I grew up in White Plains. So everybody understands what's going on. But like I told my friends, this is bigger than Kyrie, actually. This is bigger than basketball. This has been going on for hundreds of years between both communities, especially in New York and New Jersey. And like you said, you don't want to turn this into a political show, but sometimes as people, when we believe in something so strongly, we don't care who we offend. We're just gonna say, listen, this is what I believe. When Kyrie said what he said, hey, where were you when I was growing up about my ancestors. Where were you? He made a
And
valid point.
he made a. That's what I'm saying. I'm very torn on this whole situation because I love everybody. There's not a person, there's not a race, not there's people that there might be some people that I don't deal with, but there's nobody that I can just say that I hate, and I'm definitely don't use that word in an ethnic way. I can't say I don't like this person because he's black. I don't like this person because they're Oriental. I don't like this person because they live an alternative lifestyle. There's that's not nowhere in my body. But like I, I don't live an alternative lifestyle when it comes to my sexuality. But that doesn't mean I have to dislike the next person who does. And it's and I think that's where sports and society, we meet. Just we had the Michael Sam situation where he caught hell about his sexuality, where he was almost blackballed from the league. As a matter of fact, he was
He
blackballed from the
was.
league.
He was.
But then the guy from LA, he comes out and says that he's, I mean, not LA, Las
The Ra-
Vegas, he comes out and he says that he's living an alternative lifestyle and he's put him on a pedestal for it. And I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure I'm sure there's a guy from Buffalo from years ago who came out and stated that he was, that he was gay, and he hid it from the other players and from his family and so forth and so on. And he come out years later after he retired and announced that he was, but that story got washed up under the rug. So that's why I say I'm torn in this situation because there's no equality about certain
Mm-mm.
situations. When it
Never is.
yeah, we see the guys who beat up their girlfriends in the NFL and other sports who lose their jobs, and there's a big deal made out of it. ESPN is on it for 3 or 4 days and camping out at people's houses and so forth and so on. But then there's others who do dirt, and there's nothing that's said about it. That Brett Favre thing has gone and come.
They don't even care about that Brett Favre thing anymore. That's old news.
Exactly, exactly.
They don't care about that.
But do you see him losing any endorsements? You know,
Not a one. Not a one. Not a one. And you know what? Kyrie does a lot of good things too. He does a lot of community service, a lot of different things for the community. And I just hate to see a brother like this be tortured through the media. That's all it is. It's actually, you know what? It's a public lynching through the media. Sorry to say that, but it is. And I just don't want to go down that route. What's up, love? It's just a public lynching through the media, and I don't like it. I don't, but like I said, we're not going to turn this into a political show right now. It's a sports show. We just have to maybe discuss certain views, but they don't have to do Kyrie like this.
right.
They're trying to make an example of the brother, which I don't like. So I digress.
Well, let's go on to Nikki's favorite subject of the day. Yeah, look.
Who is that? What is that? It depends. Wait, which one is it? Hold on. Which one is it?
Oh,
Which one is it? Which one is it? Let me see.
oh, Odell Beckham.
My man, my brother.
I ain't even talking
My,
about that neither.
my brother from another mother. What's up, OBJ? What's up, baby? What's up, baby? I'm speaking into existence. What's up, OBJ? What's up, OBJ? I've been preaching that since the summertime, so let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. If we sign him, great. If we don't sign him, I'm still happy. We 6-2. It is. I'm just a big OBJ fan. That's all. I like him. I like Odell Beckham since he was basically playing wide receiver, kickoff return man for LSU. I watched a lot of his games because I'm a Bama fan. So I have a personal connection with him because I'm friends with his barber in New Jersey, and he was relaying messages back and forth. So I'm cool with OBJ. But the thing is, I think he can give the Cowboys a different dynamic that we don't have currently. And this is called scheme. They have to scheme against Odell. They're not scheming against anybody else but our running backs. They're not really scheming against Lamb like they would OBJ. And that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm not just looking at it as a person who wants Odell here. I'm looking at it as a scheme. I'm looking at, hey, he can be a dynamic force, yes, but when OBJ comes in, it's like, yo, number 3's in. What we gonna do? All the attention comes on him. And that's what we don't have on offense right now. We don't have that person where the defensive coordinator is like, oh, listen, man, we have to game plan against him right now. And they don't. And that's why I'm looking at it. But let's see what happens. If we get him, great. If we don't get him, we still 6-2. We still going to the playoffs. And it is what it is. I'm just an OBJ fan. That's it.
I think that, like you said, we get him. But I think that him mentioning our name is the same way. I mean, mentioning the Cowboys is the same way that 90% of the other free agents out there do. They use it as a bargaining chip.
Maybe this time. But don't forget, the Cowboys missed out on Cooks, and we missed out on Judy because those teams tried to fleece us. So here, it's only about money. It's not about draft choice. It's only about money. So that's what I'm saying. Let's see what happens.
It's definitely about money, but and let's see here. We got some more comments. Let me put some comments. So Carlton said he's using it to generate money. Stacy says his family loves the Cowboys. I guess is what he's saying. The statement that Jerry made about that he would love to have that star on Odell and using it as a bargaining chip, that being a Cowboy would benefit him financially off the field versus what he would get as far as salary is concerned. Odell is already a brand already.
Exactly, he is.
So would we enhance it? Yes, we would. Him having a star on his head, it would definitely enhance his brand, and I'm pretty sure whatever number that he wore, the jerseys would sell. But at the same time, it hasn't happened, and if it does happen, we'll know about it. And like Max said, torn ACL, 30 years old. Odell wants somebody that's going to sign him to a 3 or 4 year contract. He wants that last big payday. Is he worth that last big payday? Is he worth, 2 years at $10 million? Probably so. But I'm pretty sure he's going to ask. He's going to want more than that, especially after what happened to him with LA last year. Because essentially he played for nothing. I think they said he had to end up paying money out of his pocket because he wanted to get paid in Bitcoins, and ended up having to, he ended up losing $100,000.
He lost a lot of money. Yeah, he lost more than
paying
that.
for negative. Yeah, he ended up paying for like a negative $100,000 or $200,000.
Don't forget about Derrick Rose now. Like I brought up Derrick Rose on the chat the other day. I said Derrick Rose has similar injuries. It's not the fact he's still explosive or whatever. He's productive. There's a difference. He's still productive. And as long as Odell can still be productive when he hits the field, that's the most important thing. He doesn't have to be the most explosive player on the field. Just be productive. There's a big difference.
I mean, I definitely get that. Like you said, the scheme is, we don't have. You can definitely tell a difference in the offense without Coop being there. You can definitely see it. But it's also helped us to find an identity also. It helps us. It shows that we can run the ball with 8 in the box and be productive.
Yeah, with Pollard talking about he was out of breath. 30 carries. Oh, touch it. I can't go no more. I'm done. I was like, oh my God, you sound like Zeke. We're tapping the helmet now. I was like, oh Lord. So those two together is a good combination. And I don't give a crap. Zeke could start, Pollard, as long as they're rushing together, we have a good combination on running backs. I just wanted to throw that out there really quickly.
Oh, definitely. And Michael Irvin, he said it best. He said he's tired of everybody always trying to pit, players and management against each other in the organization. Uh, I'm sorry, you guys have to forgive me if I keep looking up because I'm looking at this Senate race between Warnock and whatever his name is, Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker, yeah, I'm looking at it too. But I see Stacey Adams is doing good in the league.
Well, right now you can't. They don't have the rural area votes in yet.
Right.
A lot of those votes are coming in from Metro Atlanta, so she's gonna have that lead. She's gonna have to win a lot of the rural area, and we have to hope that the metro area votes are big enough to overcome those rural areas. Like I said, definitely don't want this to be a political show, but yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, Maxie did. You know, he tore his ACL 2 years in a row. Um, so I think it was 21 actually. Yeah,
Yeah, when he's
no,
playing for the
yeah,
Browns.
it was 20 and yeah, it was 20 and 21. Yeah, so he tore it in 2 years in a row with the Browns, and then he tore it in the Super Bowl. So,
Mhm.
but going back
Hey,
to that Pollard Zeke situation, um, you know, listening to and I'm taking a book out of your statement, K Boogie, about listening to the media. If you listen to the media now, now everybody's saying that Pollard needs to be our number one running back because he brings a different dynamic to the offense. But that's what you want. And I've been telling people in different groups, no, we are in probably for the playoffs, we are built probably the best way we could possibly be built to have a chance to go further in the playoffs. Why? Because we have a solid defense, barring any major injuries, and we have a running game. And that's what's going to get you in the playoffs. That's what's going to get you wins in the playoffs. What Mahomes did, look, Mahomes threw the ball 68 times on Sunday and only scored 20 points. If that doesn't tell you that
Through
we need,
68 times.
yeah, 68 times and only scored 20 points. You know, if you would think that 68 times, you would think the score was 45 to 42 or something like that. That score was 20 to 17. That a stat like that shows me that we're going back, you know, that teams are going back to evolving back to, I mean, that the league is doing away, I ain't gonna say doing away with. We've overcome that run and gun stage that they wanted a couple years ago. So
hey, all you gotta do is look at what the Bears are doing. The Bears have rushed for over 240 yards 5 games in a row. 5 games in a row. That's incredible. I don't care if they win. That's incredible. So teams are going back to the run a little bit more. They are. And I've been saying, listen, if the Cowboys can actually just contain the edges, because that's how we most susceptible is on the edges in the running game, we'd be all right in the playoffs. But if we can't control the edges, we're gonna be in trouble. We are gonna be in trouble because that's how these running quarterbacks and that's how these speed running backs, that's how they're able to gain a lot of yards on the edges against us.
yep.
So that's why I like watching other teams play too when we off. I'm like writing down notes and copying certain things. Like, you know what? If we can fix this, we'd be all right. I'm like, bet, bring on the Packers. Come on. And I'm like, and that's why, doing the buy, you get a chance to look at other teams, scout other teams, and basically, hey, break down, listen, if we can do X, Y, Z, we'd be okay. But if we can't, then we'd be in trouble. But that's why I don't mind watching the other teams play when we have a buy.
So what's been your biggest surprise during the bye week? What was the biggest surprise to you during the bye week? Let's start with you, Nikki.
Biggest surprise during the bye week?
Hmm.
Uh, I would have to go with the Jets. The Jets. Um, They have showed that they are for real. That defense is popping. Sauce Gardner is the best cornerback in the league right now. Um, can't take that from him. You know, yeah, that's my biggest surprise. Seeing the Jets. The Jets, what, 6-3?
6-3.
Six
Yeah.
and three. Who ever thought the Jets would be 6-3? So that's been one of my biggest surprise. And I'm not really too side surprised about Green Bay. I kind of figured Aaron Rodgers would kind of suffer this year. Um, you know, I'm not too surprised about it at all. But yeah, Jets is my biggest surprise.
What about you, Kenyatta?
Man, it's got to be the Raiders. It has to be the Raiders, man. The Raiders have imploded in the third and fourth quarter in certain games, and I'm saying to myself, what is going on with the Raiders? The Raiders should be a lot better than what they are, and to implode against the Jacksonville Jaguars and cost me my pool, it's got to be the Raiders. It has to be the Raiders. I
And they
couldn't
just cut
believe it.
Jonathan Abram.
I know.
They
I
just
don't know
cut
what's going on
Jonathan
with the
Abram.
Raiders. I don't understand what's going on with the
I
Raiders. The
remember I
Raiders
wanted
spent a
him
lot
in
of
the
money.
draft.
He's good though. He's good. He's a good
I,
tackler. But
yeah,
we
I
already
wanted him in
have
the
someone
draft.
like him already. They play him at linebacker a lot. So I don't know. But the Raiders have a lot of talent. It's just a fact. I just don't understand. I just don't know. The coaching staff from last year is much better than this year. And so it has to be the Raiders. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh my God, Devontae Adams is playing with his best friend Derek Carr, and they got some explosive weapons, and they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that." And I'm like, "Nah." I said, "Listen, man, the Raiders are. I don't know. I don't know. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for the whole franchise because they spent a lot of money on adding players, just like everybody else did in the AFC West. And the
Well,
funny
that's
thing is,
because they be
the,
thinking that every coach they get from the Belichick tree is gonna work. It's gonna be an instant win and an instant hit for them. A lot of these teams, you got to remember Belichick was still the head coach. They were still under him. They might have called offensive plays or defensive plays, whatever, but they wasn't the coach. So I don't know, and it still goes back to, you know, they'll skip a brother that's very well capable of coming in and being a head coach and coaching the team to get someone from these branches, or to get someone else just because the coach ain't had no business being a head coach at all.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. It goes back to this whole
White
thing about
privilege.
I rather work with somebody else that I looks like me, speaks like me, acts like me. That's what this whole thing is about. I trust somebody else who looks like me because we have the same things in common, rather than hiring somebody else who may be just as smart as me, but they don't look like me. And that's what's going on in the NFL right now. Because Jeff Saturday, as a coach, I respect Jeff Saturday. I love him on ESPN. But as a head coach, I said, you know what? They, Indy is tanking. First of all, they're going to tank for the number one pick. And there's other qualified assistants on that staff that could have taken over. And I'm like, listen, I'm to be honest with you, I'm glad a brother didn't take that job. I'm glad because the Indy is tanking right now. I wouldn't want to put that on my resume anywhere.
Well, Ursay said that he went to Saturday because he felt like Saturday was open and honest, and he would tell him what's going on in the building. To me, that says a lot about the owner. Now, Chris Ballard has been the GM
Very
for,
good, yeah.
yeah, but you got to question his decision on and the coach's decision on bringing in quarterbacks. Well, they've had 8 different quarterbacks in the last 6 years or something like that since
Yeah,
since
because
Andrew
Andrew
Luck.
Luck,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I get that, but Andrew Luck retired. You bring in a veteran like some of these other teams is doing, like Atlanta and Seattle and some of these other organizations doing, and you draft a young kid, and you build you get you start working on your future. Indy has went from Andrew Luck to Kobe
Philip
Brissett,
Rivers.
Philip
Philip Rivers.
Rivers, uh, Matt Ryan, who
Wentz.
went
A lot
and
more.
they've eaten all these back. They've taken out had all these. And Wentz's contract was horrible for them to take. And Matt Ryan's. Oh my God, the cap hit that they're gonna have this year and next year for Matt Ryan's contract. And you sit up there and tell me that I don't know if anybody watched the what Keyshawn said this morning on First Take about front office jobs and so forth and so on.
Nah, I had a meeting. I missed it, unfortunately.
He pretty much said that. Now granted, you had like Jeff Saturday and you have Lynch out of San Francisco. Those guys who have never had those positions. And he kind of said what you said, that people hire people according to, who they feel comfortable with.
Mm.
But I'm pretty sure that even me, if you was to make me the interim GM of the Colts like last year, probably the last thing I would want to do is take Matt Ryan's contract and bring it to an organization.
Mm.
They restructured his contract to where, what did we say last year when they took it? Like, what, $50-something million salary cap?
It's a lot of money. All I know.
Oh, it was a lot of money.
So so I don't. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. I don't have to have a degree in business to know that that was a dumb. Hell, Atlanta was. They helped Matt Ryan pack his shit. I'm sorry. They helped Matt Ryan
Oops.
pack his stuff and drove him to the airport. Literally. Because they stuck it to Indy.
Mm. I don't know. I think Chris Ballard is trying to put basically a Band-Aid over a really big wound right now. All he's doing is putting a Band-Aid rather than just trying to have it operated on and fix it completely. That's why I think this time they're just going to tank and say, you know what? There's a lot of good quarterbacks coming out next year. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a interim head coach who's never coached before in his life. So let's see what happens. They probably saying, listen, we know Jeff Saturday is not going to do anything. We just want to tank. We're not going to tank and tell anybody we're tanking, but we're going to tank. And that's what they're doing. That's what they're going to do. I mean, they have a really good defense. They have some great parts on offense. It's just at the quarterback position. And now you have a head coach who's a great analyst on ESPN, but now he's a head coach. No preseason games either. He has no preseason games. Now these are regular season games. Like he's playing in a Madden tournament. You never played Madden before. It's crazy. It's crazy to me.
So, my biggest surprise of the bye week was that the NFC East and the AFC East are the strongest divisions in football right now.
Back to normal. Back to normal, baby.
Who would have thought? And as sucky as those two divisions have been over the last however many years, and no disrespect, and no disrespect to the Eagles and their Super Bowl win, I still can't believe that they came out and won the Super Bowl that year. Not discounting it, but I still can't believe it.
Shingles. Shingles. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to get that out. I'm so sorry.
So going back to my biggest surprises, who would have thought that the landscape of the NFC would change as drastically as it did from last year to this year. Looking at and I know we still got a lot of football to play, but as of right now, you got the Eagles, Minnesota, and Seattle. And just up until Sunday, it was Atlanta that were the division winners. Who would have ever thought those four would have been division winners? And as
I
of
guess
right
that's why you got
now,
to play the
yeah,
game.
yeah, as of right now, the Rams who won the Super Bowl, Green Bay who had the best division in football, Arizona who was up there pretty good, and then like I said, up until Sunday, uh, with when Tampa Bay winning, the 4 out of the 7 teams out of NFC was basically out of the playoff race.
Mm. Parody at its finest. Parody at its finest, I tell you. I don't know.
Yep.
It's good for
Arizona
ratings.
what's his name? Murray. They let Murray bully them into paying all their money.
Oh my God! And is he not acting like the biggest
He
um
regressed.
I guess he's
regress ain't the
upset.
word.
He
He
might be
regressed.
upset that he's losing, man. He's just frustrated. All his frustration is coming out because of the
Well,
contract.
he ain't
Because
losing by himself. I mean, they all losing, and partially losing because of him. He the one
yeah,
turning
but
the ball over.
that's the
He
thing. When you're the leader of the team, right, and you have a lot of frustrations that's built up, and it has been building up because the last couple games he's been griping. He's been being animated, doing
But
timeouts and whatever. So I
yeah,
mean,
but
he's frustrated as well.
no, but they saying that's been his attitude all along. He just ain't been showing it. They've been
Well,
saying he's
yeah,
been a
they
big
been said
ass,
that.
yeah. They've been saying he's been a big ass baby since, his second year in the league. He's been like this. And
Housen said he's terrible in the locker room. He said
I'm gonna
he's
ask
a
y'all a question
terrible
though.
locker room player.
He's animated, right? But there's other quarterbacks in the NFL too are animated. There's other players that are animated as well. So is he passionate or is he childish?
Nah, he
Which one
childish.
is it?
He was like that in high school here in Allen, Texas. He was the same way in high school. Same exact way. Do the same thing. He was the same way.
Mm-hmm.
so
I don't know.
here's the deal. So you got your Tom Brady's who's
Mm.
won, multiple Super Bowls. If Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is a little different, and I'll go back to Aaron Rodgers in a minute. Peyton Manning was an asshole.
Yeah.
So let me not say that he was a poster boy. But Peyton Manning was an asshole while they were winning because they had a level of they had an expectation. They had a level of success, and the bar had already been set. You know, it was them in New England. And it took them a minute for Indy to get over that hump to beat New England. But every year during that Brady Manning situation, it was going to be Brady Manning in Pittsburgh, essentially. Um, but when it came to the top two quarterbacks in the AFC at the time, it was Manning and Brady. But as a rookie, you didn't see Peyton Manning doing some of the stuff that he did. Now, Murray, he hasn't won anything, and I don't recall a Manning or even Brady coming over to the sideline and cussing their coaches out. Have you seen any video of that?
I've seen some arguments with Tom Brady on the sidelines with basically some of his coaches in the past. I've seen
Have you
some
seen it with
arguments.
their head coach?
he wouldn't disrespect Belichick like that. He did. He wanted his life.
Okay. So
He wasn't
why?
gonna do that.
So why do you think that it's okay for Murray to come around there and do it to his head coach on the sideline?
I didn't say it was all right. I just said he's basically is it
I'm
childish
not
or is he
saying you.
passive?
Yeah, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in general.
It's about respect at the end of the day. Sometimes you lose respect for people when you're not on the same page with them. Sometimes you lose respect for them. And I have a feeling that Murray has lost respect for his head coach because they always go through this in the last couple of years. They start out a certain way and then they hit a bump in the road. So I have a feeling that he's starting to lose respect for his coach. You know, we can always say, yeah, he's a baby and whatever else, but now it's starting to play out where we see it now. You can do certain things in the locker room with closed doors, right? But now it's starting to play out in the public eye, which is not good for anybody, especially not him.
So that's a good point here. His head coach is also the OC, but at the same time, I get that, but it's him going off on his coaches doesn't make things better. You know, regardless of the situation. I mean, I've had disagreements with my you know coaches before, but I've never disrespected my head coach. And I wouldn't let a player disrespect me. When I was a coach, I never let a player come to disrespect me as a head coach. Now I get it. Sometimes it's men and our testosterone it gets the best of us
Mm.
sometimes, but this is seeming like a pattern. You see Tom Brady throwing fits and he's arguing he's fussing at his old lineman and this and that and other. Tom's been going through some stuff, and I'm not
Yeah.
giving him a pass. So I think he's taking his frustration. His personal life is definitely affecting, his play on the field.
Yes, it is. Dramatically as well, too. Feel bad for him.
But he's accomplished something. This man has rings on both fingers. So if Tom Brady speaks, he speaks because and Aaron Rodgers, on some sense I gotta say, if he speaks, it shouldn't matter. But he doesn't take accountability for his actions. I think he's talking about how bad his receivers are, but they showed a couple plays, replays where he had guys wide open. He didn't even look their way. So I think Aaron Rodgers is definitely a selfish quarterback. I think he's definitely selfish. Um, but like I said, that's why I said that's a different story over there. But
How about
Murray, go
Lamar
ahead.
Jackson? How about Lamar Jackson? He's been a little bit more vocal now on the sidelines, too. Last name was a little bit vocal because of the center exchange. And so, him and the old lineman on the sidelines got into a little something, too. So I see a lot of young quarterbacks starting to be a little bit more vocal right now in the game and on the sidelines.
But this is their head coach, though.
Nah, I don't think they're going to get not at the head coach. I think there's a different dynamic that's going on there in Arizona with the coach. I think there's something else going on there with him. I think there's a loss of respect for the head coach in Arizona. Even though, everybody keeps saying that Murray was doing the same thing since he's been in high school, whatever, but there's got to be a level of respect between the players and coach too. Because sometimes you are going to get into it with the coach. Sometimes the camera's on you, sometimes the camera's not. So I mean, hey, it happens in basketball all the time with the head coach. You're gonna get into it on the basketball field, on the baseball field. You're gonna get into it with the managers. It happens sometimes. It's gonna happen. It's
Hey.
gonna happen. Hey.
We got a new co-host. You want to introduce us, Nikki?
She will not let me be great. Say hi, Mill.
She want to see what's going on here. She said, "I like technology."
Now she don't want to talk to y'all.
It's all good.
It's all good. So we're at week 9. We're going into week 10.
Yeah, baby.
Let's talk Cowboys now. We didn't talk about everybody else but the Cowboys.
Let's go. Well, we did talk about the Cowboys and Odell Beckham, but it's all good. I understand. Let's go.
Uh,
Oh, I'm ready for
this,
this Green Bay game. Like I said, this to be honest with you, we favor about what 4.5 points, right? I don't even. It shouldn't even be that close. If we play our game, we're running on all cylinders. It shouldn't be that close. And as long as we're not looking ahead to the Vikings game, because that should be a statement game, us against the Vikings. But this game right here, we just have to come out fast, put them to sleep early, and go home with the victory.
and Green Bay has some key injuries too.
Yeah.
Some key injuries. So this is the
Starting
NFL.
with Aaron.
Yeah, this is the NFL. I don't put it's it's truly any given Sunday. Um, and we haven't had good success up there in Green Bay.
Man.
Hopefully we do. Um, I want a good game. I want to come home with the victory. The game that I'm looking forward to, and I'm not looking ahead because I definitely enjoy every week of football. Um, I just want to get past this Thanksgiving game. I hate to think that far ahead, but we just don't do well on Thanksgiving, and I'm ready to put that behind us. I'm ready to get that Thanksgiving monkey off our back and do something. But I definitely think, yeah, I'm with you guys. I definitely think that we should be able to beat Green Bay. I would love to put Aaron Rodgers out of his misery. I would love for Aaron Rodgers to say, you know what? I think I am going to retire and I'm gonna go do Jeopardy. That would be the perfect. That would be the perfect scenario to me when it comes to Aaron Rodgers.
Nah, he's too prideful for that. I don't think he's gonna just quit. I don't think he's too prideful. He's gonna keep playing. He wouldn't. He's 7-2 versus the Cowboys basically all time. So he has a good winning record against us, and he threw for almost 2,000 yards against us and 11 touchdowns. So I mean, he's gonna be motivated to play well, even though he's a little banged up. So is their team, but he's gonna be motivated to play well against us. And it's a primetime game on Fox. Everybody's talking about it. You see all the advertisements, so he knows that they've been struggling. And what way to come out and play well against the Dallas Cowboys right now? So I think Aaron's going to be motivated to play this game. Like I said, we just have to come out, play fast, play physical, rush the passer a lot. I mean, hey, we're not going to be playing no zones and none of this sweet stuff. We got to bring the pressure to them. You got to bring the pressure to them. I mean, hey, they like to run the ball as well, so we have to be careful on the edges. But hey, we favored by 4.5 points, so we should be able to control the clock against Green Bay. And it's going to be cold. It's going to be like 37 degrees, 40 degrees. So it's going to be a great game to run the ball. Run the ball. Matter of fact, to be honest with you, I wouldn't even want Zeke to play in this game. Rest him for the Viking game. I would rather for Zeke to rest, right, and play against the Vikings. Give him another week of rest with his knee because the backups play well too against the Bears. And the Bears are playing better to me than Green Bay. So why even risk Zeke playing against Green Bay this weekend if you don't have to? That's just me. Give them one more week because I'm telling you, the Vikings, hopefully they're going to actually flex the game to a Sunday night game. Hopefully, I'm going to cross my fingers. But because we play on Thanksgiving, they may not. We play the Vikings first and then we play the Giants. So listen, we need Zeke to be healthy right now.
What about you, Nikki?
Well, good luck on that because Jerry already basically said Zeke. He looking for forward to Zeke playing Sunday. Which I don't mean anything wrong with Jerry. He just be talking. But I think we should pull the win out. I like the fact that we're not playing them so deep in November, where it's the ice and the snow and the extra cold. It's gonna be cool, but it ain't gonna be as cold as it normally be down there. They might avoid snow. They ain't gonna have the snow and all that. I just think we just show up, play our game. Force them to play our game. Don't let them force us to play their game. 'Cause that's when we end up with issues and problems in the game. When we allow them to make us play their game. Come out with the intensity, come out, punch them in the mouth out the gate. You know, I think our defense is physical enough to get after Aaron Rodgers. And Detroit defense ranked number 32. And they got after him, forced him into a couple of turnovers in the red zone. So I definitely expect our defense to be able to do some of that as well. I think Kellen Moore just call a good game. Keep the ball on the ground as we need to, and pass only when we have to. You know, don't get out there trying to do nothing outrageous, over the top. You know, my only concern is most of the time after bye weeks we come back, we come out a little flat. You know, and then we don't need to come out flat, especially being on the road. You know, we need to come out with the same power, same intensity that we have when we at home. So, I think we're a 5 point favorite, depending on where you look at. But I think we clearly should win by more than 5 points if we come out and play our game.
Well, for me, I'm like you with you, Nikki, on that. We need to come out fast. We cannot get behind that. We don't want to give them any kind of hope that they can win this game. I liked how we came out against Chicago. We came out, we put it to them. So when this is the NFL, momentum is going to swing one way or the other. It's very rarely you're going to see the 35 to nothings like we saw. Uh, who won 35 to nothing on this past? Well, it was a big blowout earlier, but you very rarely see those type of games in the NFL. So you got to come down and
Bengals.
you got to score touchdowns. We can't keep going. We can't go through what we normally do and come down and think that field goals is going to help us win games. Eventually we're going to run into a team that is going to. Um, I don't want to use the word shred our defense, but give us defense some fits. And I definitely thought that Chicago did that to us. They exposed us that if yeah, we won against Chicago, but we got to deal with Jalen Hurts again. So we better get this running quarterback situation under wraps before we get back to Philly. Um, and I know that's down the line. A lot can happen between now and then, but we gotta start fast and make teams play catch up. One thing that I was impressed with Chicago, and I said this last week, was that even though they were down, that they stayed true to who they were. Even in the game against Miami last week,
Hmm.
that was a very good game, and they still stayed true to who they were. They rushed for over 300 yards, almost 300 yards. So I, them rushing the way they did, I can't be mad at our Cowboys for giving up the amount of rushing yards that Chicago put up against us,
Hmm.
because that's Chicago does. They found an identity, and they're gonna stick with it no matter what. They feel like that their identity is gonna keep them in the game, and we're fortunate enough to be able to say that we now have a running game and we have a defense, and we just need our quarterback to make sure that he doesn't make any mistakes, um, so that we won't blame him on losing the game.
That was funny. That was funny. Oh Lord, that was
No, I gotta
funny.
throw my jab in there just a little bit.
Pat, you threw the left hook. Forget the jab. You threw the left hook. Ooh, oh
So
man, that was
So we don't
good.
blame who? Dak?
I,
Mm.
of course.
Oh, yeah,
You know how that go. You know how that go.
they're gonna blame him no matter what.
They shouldn't.
They could clearly see what happened in that game, but they're gonna say it was their fault.
And if we
Yeah,
win, it definitely he didn't have anything to do with it.
no.
I
But
Yeah, we
going
miss
got.
back to go ahead, Nikki.
No, I was gonna say we have 3 difficult games in a row. You figure you got Green Bay on the road, then the Vikings and the Giants on Thanksgiving.
right, right.
Especially the Giants only because Danny Dimes ran for 75 yards against us too, right up the middle. So we have to contain him as well. Not to look ahead, but just thinking. And then Kirk Cousins is a mobile quarterback too, so we have to be cognizant of him running the ball as well as a quarterback. Come to think of it.
But we have 3 tough games, but none of those teams scare me though.
Mm.
And
Right.
that's the thing where I can say that it's I think that we're favored. We're favored in 2 of the 3 games.
Yeah, I don't think the Vikings game we are.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad of a separation. I think with and I'll stick with this game here. Like I said, I think that we build our confidence, we come out strong, we play solid defense, and we build our confidence up for that Minnesota game. That's definitely going to be a good game.
The Vikings play Buffalo this week too, so the Vikings can look ahead to us because they play Buffalo this weekend. That's going to be a tough game. They have to travel to Buffalo.
Yeah, but are they going to have it with Allen though?
I don't know.
See, that's the
question.
key. That's the thing. Are they gonna have Josh Allen? Giants gonna give us a fit because they already they want to stay in pace in the division. Plus, they want to pay back from when we went down there and beat them. So, wasn't they undefeated when we played them? So we gave them their first loss.
Yeah.
So yeah. So but Thanksgiving Day games are always hard for some reason for us. Then like we will be on the upside of those games because we always at home for Thanksgiving, but last couple of years just ain't worked out that way.
We got new helmets though. The new helmets gonna bring luck this year.
I just know one thing. They better not ever wear them mugs they wore when we played Denver again. They might not ever pull them out again. ever wear them, pull them out again.
Well, I can't wait to see the whole uniform on Thanksgiving. Those new that helmet. I got to get one of those miniature helmets and put in my room because that helmet was fire. I'm like, listen, if that helmet's fire, that whole uniform better be fire. Y'all better come out blazing on Thanksgiving. Blazing on Thanksgiving. You have to.
Well, Herschel Walker and Herschel Walker and they're tied at 49% right now. They only got 10,000 votes separated.
How is that possible?
Wait to Abram?
No, Walker.
Oh yeah, I just see that. I see Abrams losing now, right?
Yeah. A lot of that is because of the outer votes take a longer time to. A lot of the outer counties votes, it takes a while for them to get in, but they still haven't counted a couple of the big counties around here. So,
but Herschel Walker, for crying out loud, Herschel, Mr. CTE himself, are you serious?
This is Georgia.
This country's crazy. This country, something wrong. Herschel Walker.
This is Georgia.
I know, but I'm just saying, dude, Herschel Walker.
And right now, it looks like the Republicans leading the Senate to take control of the Senate. If they take control of the Senate, they'll have the Senate and the House. That's not good.
Well, back to football.
So
let's say here. So Stanley says that Leon Jinx is on Thanksgiving.
He just made a bonehead play.
They lost
McKinney because of that ATV accident.
Yeah, McKinney.
While he was on vacation.
He broke his hand. Yeah. So that's a key piece of their defense that they lost. He was playing well for them. He was playing very well for them. He said he'd be back, but he won't be back in time to play us.
Yeah, they put him on injury reserve, non-football related. So a minimum of 4 weeks. So we won't see. Yeah, he won't be back against us.
Right. Won't be back
Nah,
against us.
you won't.
And
And now we got that back too. We're gonna torch that secondary.
I hope that we keep up with the same game plan. I like the 25 throws a game, 27. I think that's a good number. Once you get up into the high 30s, 40s, then that means your running game is not doing too well. So we don't want that.
right.
It depends on the score though. It depends on if they have ball control offense. It depends on a lot. It
All right,
depends.
it just switched. They just changed now. Herschel is losing now, so it's 51-47. So
Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
it just flipped that quick.
Flip it. I think these networks be doing that on purpose too. They want everybody tuned in to the networks. And let's see, we're gonna flip it real quick on you. We got you.
Yeah.
We got you.
And there's every channel reports something different. So
Yeah.
Herschel Walker. I can't. I'm just disappointed in him. It is what it is.
so we play Sunday at what, 3:15?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
3:30
Well,
basically.
Yeah.
well, for
4:25
us, it's
Eastern time.
4:25 for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
3
Fox. It's on Fox too. It's the
Right.
game of the week on Fox.
Game of the week of Fox, yeah.
Of
Mm.
course, it's the game of the week. The Cowboys didn't play last week, so of course it's going to be the game of the week.
And then it's the game of the week the following week too against Minnesota.
So we play what
They
at
just
3
love-
again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
And then we play at 3 against the Giants. So we got
Yeah.
three 25 games.
then the week
Yeah.
after that, we have that Thursday night game.
They're keeping it consistent though.
Do we got two
Oh,
Thursday?
we have a Thursday night game after that?
Yeah, I do believe we got the Thursday night game after that also.
Okay.
Because we've had our bye. So, yeah, I do believe that we have. See, now I don't want to tell no stories.
No, actually we play the Colts at 8:20, December the 4th. We got a Sunday night game.
Sunday night, okay.
We play the Colts Sunday night. Ooh.
We play
All
them in
right, Jeff,
Dallas, right?
Saturday. Yeah, we playing Dallas.
Okay,
So what you
I
gonna
thought.
do, Jeff, Saturday on
Oh,
prime
yeah,
time TV?
yeah. We got 10 days off.
That's another bye.
Right, we have 10 days off after the Thanksgiving game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
that's another bye.
So
Yeah.
that's like another bye week.
So not
So
to
then
say
we have
nothing, but that's a perfect time to bring in a free agent.
Well, he won't be ready till if Odell come, he wouldn't be ready till December anyway.
And then we play the Texans at 1:00 in Dallas, December the 11th. Then we play the Jacksonville Jaguars the 18th, then the 24th. We play the Eagles, and then we play the Texans, and then the Commodores the end of the season.
Oh, my
I
God.
just feel
Football.
like they said, look, I don't know. I really did not want Lovey to take that job in Houston. It just feel like a setup. He said that game might be flexed. Which one, Cool?
The Eagle game.
Oh yeah, it's possible.
The Eagle game. But that Tennessee game gonna be, we gotta play against Mr. Henry, so that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a tough game.
And we play in Tennessee.
Yes,
And
we
it's gonna
do.
be cold. And it's gonna be cold.
And it's an 8:15 game at night.
And it's a night game.
They love us at night, boy.
And it's a night game, yeah. But
Nah, they got that.
y'all
that
just
Eagle
gonna pin
game has
down
to be night
Tannehill,
game.
who playing quarterback for them too, because Tannehill may be back by then. He may be back by then, but we don't know. I felt bad for Willis the other night. Like, man, like he did good in the first half, but then that overtime, the real rookie came out. He showed the really, you know, I felt bad for him. I was like, Lord, Chris Jones, you got Chris Jones coming after him. He just didn't know what to do. Like he didn't know to read cover 1, cover 2, cover 3. He just didn't know what to do. But hey, it's growing pains, you know. He the backup quarterback. That's what they had to put him out there. You know.
Hey, he's the future, so might
Yeah.
as well let him get some practice now. Throw him out there on Sunday night and let's see what happens.
I didn't realize the
Because
Titans was 5 and I didn't realize they was 5 and 2. They was 5 and 2. I
they're
didn't realize that.
sneaky. The Titans are sneaky good. They always been
Yeah.
sneaky good. They play in the
They,
division with the
they,
Colts and the Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh well, that explains
they
it.
got a defensive minded. They have a defensive minded players coach.
Mm,
That look that explains it a lot.
yeah, Mike
Mike
Vrabel,
Vrabel.
he's pretty good. He's not bad. He's a pretty good
Yeah,
coach. But they also
he's a
play in a
players
bad
coach.
division.
You know, yeah, he's a
Yeah.
players coach. Yeah, he the player he can relate to the players,
Hmm.
and that's where I think the mistake that we have in the league is that we don't have enough coaches that can relate to the players.
Right,
We have a lot of do boys that do what the owner says um, and want the players to do what they say.
right,
But I look at I look at just like what Dion is doing in Jackson State. His name and how he cares about the well-being of those players, and you see clips of him. He's out there at practice. He's actually explaining it. Hey, if your right foot is here, your right arm can't do this. He's actually out there with these guys, teaching them the fundamentals of the game, and those players have to respect that because once again, he was he was a catalyst in the in the NFL. He was one of the best. So look at what he's done.
mm,
So I definitely think we need more of that. And going back to the old Jeff Saturday thing, Jeff Saturday, uh, interim head coaching position. There was a big talk about that, about them, how they are circumventing the Rooney Rule.
Yeah, he
I think
did.
this is another way of getting around it. Did Irsay make this move so he didn't have to go with the Rooney Rule for next year because it doesn't apply to interim coaches? So
Like I said, man, I don't even want a brother to take that job right now. No, I wouldn't want. I
which
don't.
job?
The coach
Indy,
job.
Oh, coach. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's all right. We'll pass on that one. Good luck, Jeff Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll pass on that one. That's why I mean that's why I didn't want Levy to take the Houston Texans job. I did not want him to take that job. I was like, I just did not want him to take that job. I was like, I instantly setting him up for failure.
we talked about this a couple of weeks ago with the Todd Bowles and Tampa Bay job. How pretty much they basically had the same squad. They don't. They lost a few players. They didn't lose the nucleus of the players, but they lost a few. But this is a totally different team. Totally different team. And is the coaching? Because you know, well, since the little going off on the sideline, we don't see the old coach on the sidelines anymore.
No, he's in the front office right now. He stayed up top. He's not coming down no more.
Right.
He said, "Oh no, I got to stay up top now. I can't come downstairs anymore." I don't know. Hopefully he's not coaching. Just hopefully it's just some bad breaks for them.
Cooley said it's Brady. He doesn't want to play for a black head coach. I, I just think that it's time for Brady to hang. I think with his personal life and everything that's going on in his personal life, I think that it's affecting his play. I mean, what man can't what individual who's going through a family crisis like that, because a divorce is a crisis whether you want it or not.
Yeah, it
Right.
It's
is.
and
Right.
it's going to affect you mentally whether you want it or not.
Right.
So but you got to look at, here's two of two of the some of the most successful people in the world, and they can't even make it.
That's what I always say. You know, you don't never know what going on behind closed doors. You don't know what the media push out there to you. Um, I just can't honestly sit here and think and say that their whole situation came down because he decided to come back and play football. It has to be something else deeper and something else brewing that pushed that over the cliff when that happened. Um, I mean, football is what always made him money. Football is what she loved. What she was what she met him when he was that doing that. So I say I just feel like it is something else behind it that pushed that over the cliff for him. Because I just can't see that being the biggest reason that and you go get a divorce lawyer that quick because you that mad that he decided to go back to football. It's more to that story. But hey, that's their personal life. We'll never know the truth. So I always felt like it was more going on behind what the media pushing out there.
It'll
I'm
come
just
out
praying
in
for
it.
both.
Yeah, it'll come out in a
It'll come
couple
out
of years.
eventually.
Yeah, it'll
Somebody will
come out.
sell it to a tabloid.
Yeah, it'll be a book out with the title of
Right. What really happened in Tom Brady's life?
"The Monster That
Y'all a
Was."
mess. Y'all a mess. Y'all a mess. Yeah, y'all a mess.
Look, the
Why
ti-
did Giselle really divorce Tom Brady?
no, it'll be "The Monster That Was." The story of Tom Brady.
Yeah, right. They're gonna say it was AB's fault. It
Yeah.
was AB's fault. He did it. He was mad at Tom Brady, so he did something. Watch. Like, give
Uh,
Yeah.
me a
AB,
break
AB,
with that.
AB out of control though. He out of control. Like that's just mad disrespectful though. At the end of the day, that man took you in his house and helped you and reeled you in for you to even get a ring. That's just mad disrespectful. Like I don't know where the disconnect came at between him and Tom or what happened that he went to that level with Tom. And I mean that Tom is an asshole by all means. We all know that. But I don't I just didn't feel like that was cool for AB to do. Some people gonna blame it on he I wanna know. Oh, I know I heard somebody smacking on something. She just sitting in the bed just eating up. Oh, who told you to dig in my purse?
well, can I say one cuss word tonight?
You said
We
plenty
ain't on the
already.
show.
Both of y'all did.
I ain't cursed tonight. Run the tape.
Y'all said the same daggone thing.
I ain't cursed tonight. I ain't cursed not one time tonight. Run the tape.
Well, if I was Tom Brady and AB did what he did, AB would have got his beep whooped.
Oh yeah, if that would have been
I,
anybody else. Yeah,
yeah,
they would have.
I'd have
Yeah,
found him and I would have whooped his beep.
yeah. That'd have been anybody else. Yeah, he would have
Yeah,
Yeah, but
been.
Tom
Yeah,
Brady's not a brother, so he don't want no
right.
that
smoke.
He
that
He
he
ain't
don't
gonna
want
ain't.
no
bark up
smoke.
that tree. Yeah,
He don't want no smoke.
Tom Brady do all that hype and talking smart when he on the sideline because he got backup. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He ain't gonna dare go in the street with AB or anybody for that fact. Any of them for that fact can do that. And think he
O-
gonna fight
Only
them.
only person I think you know the only brother quarterback that I think that he could get away with that with was probably Russell Wilson.
Oh damn! Why y'all throw my man Russ under the bus?
Well,
Why
yeah.
y'all, why
Well,
y'all throw
yeah.
Russ
Okay,
under the bus?
let's just keep it 100.
Well,
Why
yeah.
y'all throw my man Russ under the bus? That rhyme
Yeah.
too. Why y'all? Oh man, Russ
Yeah.
always getting the heat. Oh man.
I'm not giving Russ no heat. I'm just saying that.
PYT, Pretty Wilson.
I mean, Russell Wilson is the type of guy that's gonna turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
That's just his nature.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's just his nature. And
And it's not a bad thing.
right,
It's not a bad thing that he's not, that quick to fight and it's not a bad thing, but at some point you have to defend yourself. At some point you have to and I mean I understand you making the money and on whatever and you want to be this person and but at some point you have to stand up. Like all that stuff Future was doing to him. Ain't nobody else would have let Future do that. Nobody else would have let Future do that.
You got to send the goons out. You can't do it yourself, though. You got to send goons to do it.
Nah, you
Don't
gonna
get
see
your
my
hands dirty.
you gonna
You
see
got to
my
send the
face.
goons to do it.
You gonna see my face. Don't let this don't let this handsome face fool you. You gonna see my face. You know,
You want them
I
hands? You say, yo, you go with them hands.
hey, if we might not, it might not even get to the hands point, but you gonna hear me and you gonna see me. I can tell you that much. That's one thing I've always said. You're not gonna disrespect my household. I don't care who you are. I'll go to jail for me and mine.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
then Russell probably was a little out focus too, because every time you look Sierra on TikTok, so he
Oh,
probably can't
Lord.
focus on the game because every time you look, she on TikTok showing something, and he probably like, "What? I'm trying to watch the game, and I'm getting these messages to my phone. She on every time you look, she on TikTok doing something, dropping low, showing something, and we can't focus on the game."
Shit, that's why he married her. He know. He got that dirty. He know.
Well, y'all
Shoot.
expect some things to change y'all expect some things kind of tone down once you get married. You know,
What? That's a lie.
yeah.
All right, look,
Did I
hold
say
on,
that's a lie?
hold on
That's a
now.
lie. Hold up now. Wait a minute. That's
Now
a
you,
lie.
Hold on now. It's two again. Y'all ain't for the tag team me now. Hold up.
Hey, listen. That's a lie.
I'm about to flip the script on that one.
Y'all ain't
How
for the
how
Wait
how
tag
up.
come
Hold
team
up
me.
now.
Yeah.
how come it couldn't be that she was tired of dealing with them hood ninjas and she wanted to get her a
Well,
nice clean
I
wholesome
mostly
guy?
believe that's what it
Exactly.
was too. I mean, Future Bow Wow first, and then Future did what he did. So I honestly believe that it was the fact that type of person Russell Wilson is. I love them as a couple. I I love them as as a black couple, but it's also easily to see who runs the house. So
But
I
as long as they're
mean,
happy, though, it doesn't
yeah,
matter. As long as they're happy, it
but
doesn't matter.
and still, let's even take it a step further.
that's
And
why he up there in Colorado now.
yeah, let's take it a step further. Regardless of how manly man a man really is, if he's got a real woman, she's running the house, regardless.
Damn. Could you say that a little lower, Foxy?
He said, he said, wait a
Could
minute.
you say it a little lower,
I
Foxy?
mean, I'm just
But
keeping.
what?
I'm just
Wait
keep,
a minute. Wait a minute.
Yo, could you say it a little lower?
I mean,
Yeah.
out in public, yeah, I'm the man. I'm the man. But come on now, we ain't dumb. A real man is going to admit that his wife or significant other, inside them walls, she runs the house. Unless there's a little bit
Mm.
kid running around there. If it's not a little kid running around there, mama runs the house. What's the old saying? If mama ain't
Girl.
happy, ain't nobody happy.
Lord have mercy, Jesus. We're going to
I'm not.
let us
I'm.
pray.
Don't
Let
get
us
mad because
pray.
I'm speaking the truth.
Put my lipstick
Let
on.
us, I said, let us pray before I
Look,
get
Where
look,
when
is
I
my
get
look,
off this
Lisa
podcast. Let us
say.
pray.
Lisa said yes.
You
Oh,
see
oh.
that?
Lisa say yes.
Let us pray, Lord. Let us
Lisa
pray.
ain't said nothing all night, but she want to get
Yeah,
in
she
on
said
something.
yes to that.
Yeah, she ain't said nothing all night. She want to get on some mess. Go put my shoe in the
And leave
closet.
Russ alone.
Give
God
me this.
dang. Oh,
See,
man.
look. Who running the house right there now, Nikki?
The
A
little
little,
ones
a
running,
little, a
digging in
little,
everything.
a little
Where my,
young lady running the
where my,
house.
yeah, where my top at? To my lipstick. Fi- Find my stuff before
Oh
you catch a
man.
whip.
Mm-mm.
So back to football.
Yeah.
back to the old reliable. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, we the dark Dr. Phil's done talking
I know
tonight.
she was digging in something. What you said? The what?
The dark Dr. Phil is done talking tonight.
But see,
Oh Lord.
this is what make our show so funny, interesting. Like we talk football, but we don't just we dab into everything.
Of course.
So that's what make us fun. That's what make it interesting. We're not
Wait a minute.
just
I'll be right
stuck
there,
on.
honey. Yes, I will. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You ain't got to. You ain't got to front for us. We already know what it is.
And I had to throw that out there for a joke. It's all good. I just had to
You
throw
ain't
that
got
out
the
there
front
for a
foot.
joke.
Whatever she said, you get off this call. You get off this call.
Yeah, right. It's all good. Nah, she know when I'm on this call. It's the call. That's it. That's it.
You couldn't even say that right, so we know that's a lie.
Right. The views.
Nah, she knows when I'm on this podcast, yo. The doors closed, everybody's quiet, and it's all about us.
Well,
All right.
Okay.
That's right.
Now, when he's sitting on here next week with a knot in the front on the front of his head, we gonna know why.
Damn, you gonna say I'm gonna have a speed knot for a week? Yo,
He gonna come over here next week with some sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Yo, see there? I might do that just because you said that. I might come on in with sunglasses.
Like, what happened to UK Boogie? What happened to UK Boogie?
I
fell
can't
down.
nothing.
I fell down the stairs.
Nah, the famous line that we can get their eyes shut. They diluted.
Nah, what had happened was I walked into a door at night trying to go get something to drink, and I hit my eye. That's what happened.
They eyes still diluted.
Yo, that's what happened.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, listen. Whew, okay.
What's on the board? I didn't see no more messages tonight. You ain't put no comments up. You slacking on the comments.
I've been putting comments up.
I've
been putting the comments up. Also, are you on comments? Here you go, right here, Nikki.
Oh shoot! Yo, oh, that's Magic City talk right there.
Let's see here. I got some more in here.
That's Magic City burning hot. Stoney going in.
No, so what are your expectations for the Cowboys for the rest of the season? We got 9 more games to go. I don't expect us to go undefeated. I'm even expecting maybe a couple of more losses. I can't say who right now because the NFL changes from week to week. Depends on injuries and schemes and so forth and so on. But what are your expectations for the Cowboys for the rest of? Stoney says win, and more wins. Definitely. You think Philly can keep this pace up?
Philly might. It depends. Philly might. I don't know. Philly's so unpredictable right now because the Texans actually played them pretty tough. Texans played them pretty tough. They just didn't have the talent to stay with Philly. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Like we're going into the third quarter of the season. So as long as we come out with a winning record for the third and fourth quarters, we should be fine. We probably gonna have to play on the road in the playoffs anyway. I said that in one of the chats. I said, listen, we play on the road in the playoffs. We're just gonna have to run the ball, smash mouth ball. We're gonna have to play good defense, play action pass, and that's how we're gonna win on the road.
I can't put Magic City and Burning Hot in the same sentence. So it's like, let's see here. Someone is going to upset them. They won't even be expecting it. Like I said, I tell especially my Eagles friends, I said, I got to give them credit for what they've done. They play who they play. The schedule is who it is. So they did what they were supposed to do. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. The first game of the season, I can't really say that I was expecting that loss. But as bad as both teams played that first game, and the way that I've seen Tampa Bay play of late, then that should have been a win for us. But it is what it is. We got 2 losses up against our belt. And we just got to play better. We play, better each week. And like as I go back to that Chicago game, yes, the defense gave up 200-some yards. Yes, we gave up more than 20 points to Philly and Chicago. However, Chicago, like I said, they stayed true to who they were, and they still lost. They stayed true to who they were Sunday, scored 32 points and still lost.
Mm-hmm.
So, give them credit for who they are. Who they are is who they are. They trade away their two best defensive players. Chicago did. You
Yeah, they
know,
did.
so they're building for the future. I think they're. I don't want to use the word they're tanking, but you know, they made adjustments after the first few games, and they're playing better. You know, do we think that Mike Martz and Kellen Moore have are they getting better with in game adjustments? Do you got any of you guys think that?
Yeah, I think Kellen Moore has called some pretty good games lately. They haven't depended on the pass as much. They've more, dependent on the run more than anything else. And then when Dak came back the first game, yeah, he was the offense was a little stale, but against the Bears, I mean, they had up tempo offense and we ran the ball and we passed the ball. So we have to give some type of kudos to Kellen Moore, but can he do that against the quality defenses? That's what I want to see moving forward. When we play against the Eagles and even the Giants and the Vikings, what type of game are you going to call? You can do that against the mediocre teams, but what type of game are you going to call against the better teams with better defenses? That's what I want to see. But right now, they call a pretty good game lately. And Mike McCarthy, hey, if we keep winning anyway, we're going to finish at, let's say, 13-4. And let's say we play the Eagles in the NFC Championship game, he's still going to be the coach. He's not going anywhere. He's going to be here. Even though he has some time management issues that he still needs to work on. But if we finish 13-4 and we get to the NFC Championship game, he's still going to be the coach of the Cowboys.
Controlling, controlling them unnecessary penalties that we've been getting. That's can be the difference between advancing and going home. I was pleasantly surprised by that 13 personnel that we came out with against Chicago. 3 tight end set. You know, all 3 tight ends can catch the ball. But now, we showed that early. It's not going to be a surprise to anybody anymore. So, I think that they, like I said, they definitely called better games. Stoney he said balance. It's been, I can't even use the word balance because we passed the ball more than we ran the ball, which is a very good thing. We haven't had to rely on Dak to throw the ball 30, 35 times. I don't think Dak has thrown. I can't remember the stats from the first game, but I don't think that this team has thrown more than 30 times since the first week. And I'll go
No,
back.
we haven't played from behind either. We haven't played from behind, so we should be okay. Moving forward, we should be all right.
All right, we got a couple more minutes for old man time. What do you want to talk about for these last
You
minutes?
said, "Oh man." Hey, one thing that's not Cowboy related. I have to congratulate Nikki on her LSU beating my Alabama. Actually, I didn't even watch the second half of the game. I had an event to really go to, and I had a lot of fun. So I thought Alabama was going to walk all over LSU, to be honest with you. So, Nikki, hats off to your 1-point win against my Roll Tide Alabama. It's going to be Alabama all day, every day anyway, but, LSU's been playing better ball. So I want to give kudos out there to LSU beating, my Alabama Crimson Tide and knocked us out of the running for the championship. So
We appreciate that.
it's all good. I bet you do. So I mean, hey, now only thing I can do now is just scout players and whatever else, and hopefully the Cowboys can, still build their team through the draft. So I just wanted to say that. But moving forward, all I know is December 24th, we're gonna have to make a statement against the Eagles. We're gonna have to do. I don't care.
Before we get to
What
the Eagles,
happened?
though, before we get to Eagles, and I know a lot of y'all don't care, but look what my Notre Dame did to Clemson.
Oh yeah. Thank you for that too. Because I almost had a bet, and I said, Notre Dame's gonna beat up on Clemson. Clemson's not playing that well. The quarterback's situation is a little iffy right now. What happened? They was down 21-0 in the second quarter. I said, look at that. Look at here. Look at
Defense.
here.
The defense stepped up, and I'm after going 0-2 to come back to win the game. What Notre Dame did. They started ranked in the top 6 or 7 at the beginning of the year. New coach. The future looks bright for them. And Brian Kelly going to LSU. I don't want to use the word hurt, but I understand why he went to LSU. It's definitely an opportunity to go coach in the SEC against Nick Saban and the talent that's in the SEC, and then to actually come in there and beat Nick Saban. I mean, that's the opportunity of a lifetime. So
yeah, it was. He went for it too, and that 2-point conversion he went for it, and that showed a lot of cojones to do that too. He said, "You know what? I'm not going to let my kick come back out there. We're going to go for 2," and that's what he did. That's what he did too on national television, right to Jason Taylor's son, 2-point conversion. I was like, oh man, I was reading on my phone. I said, oh, I'm gonna hear it now. I said, I'm gonna hear it now. But it's all good. It's gonna be up to probably Georgia and Ohio State in the championship game, maybe.
all right, so what's everybody's predictions for Sunday? Go ahead and put your predictions in for the game, and I will post your comments up on the screen.
Now she got the bottle of wine. Oh my God.
Oh, she trying to get Liddy. Yo.
I'm not your mama, baby.
I have a score
She
here.
didn't
I don't know.
She didn't see TT with that bottle of wine.
She want to sit. She want to sit to the head.
All
You know how
right.
that being beautiful time.
So I think that I'm gonna say that we should go out there and we should be able to really blow them out. But I think the game is gonna be a little closer than what it is because of the mystique. We still have a young team, the mystique of Lambeau Field. I'm going to say 24-13.
That's shit, I got a blowout here. I have the Cowboys 34, Green Bay 17. Because when Dak first came into the league, we blew them out in Green Bay. We blew them out. So hey, I know Dak's like, listen, we could do this again. So that's why I went with the score 34-17. And Green Bay, they have injured players. Aaron Rodgers really doesn't have any wide receivers. So what are they gonna do? Just run the ball every play?
He's 8.
They gonna run the ball. That's why. What was that? 34-17. 34-17. That's my prediction.
All right, they still got 28-17.
Right. I told Frida that. I said, Frida, I can't do that. I said, I'm not.
We tend to. I have to. Aaron Rodgers has been a killer for us for so long.
I'm not doing that.
But I want to say with the way our defense is playing, and if our offense could get on the road like they did against the Bears, and the Packers also run defense is not as good, so we can run the ball, create a couple of turnovers. I'm gonna have to go with 34. I'm gonna have to go with Kenyatta 34-17. We should win this game by more than one score.
Mm-hmm.
We should.
Not unless the refs gonna start cheating. The refs be
Yep.
out there cheating.
Hey. Stay off the ref.
But listen, man, listen. I'm
not
just
your
calling
kind of
it what
ref.
it is. You know how the refs be seeing Cowboy players, and Michael Parsons gonna be in bear hugs all game. He's gonna be in bear hugs all game. Like, yo, ref, what are you doing? Well, because you wasn't in the play, I can't throw a flag. Give me a break.
Around Frida.
So hopefully,
To talk to Frida, and what have you. No.
yeah, 34-17 is about right in my book.
Okay.
What the folks saying out there in Cowboy land.
So Kelly's got 28-21. Lisa had 28-17. Nobody else has put any other scores up thus far.
It's not going to snow. It's just going to be maybe like 40 degrees. To me, that's perfect football weather. 40 degrees, 45 degrees. So we don't have to deal with the cold and the snow, like the frozen tundra and the ice bowl and whatever. So that's why I'm saying it might be a high scoring game for us. As long as we come out there fast, furious, with a lot of energy. That's another thing too. Come out with energy. Come out basically fast paced, no huddle offense too. Throw them off guard and let's go. Let's see what's gonna happen.
Okay.
I want to see Clark get busy too. I want to see Clark on the field. I want to see Clark on passing downs. I want to see Clark out there because right now I know Barr's hurt with his hamstring. I want to see Clark get busy. I want to see Bland get busy. That's what I really want to see. I want to see our rookies get out there with the speed because Clark and Bland are really fast and they're instinctive too. Not only are they fast, they're both instinctive. So that's why I want to see Clark and Bland out there as well. 30-10, I like that. Natty Nat.
Okay. All right. Well, any last topics we want to talk about, Nikki, before we get out of here?
Tonight. No, tell I'm trying it now.
She said she's trying it now, right? Okay.
Any last topic for UK Boogie before we get out of here?
One last topic. So what are we gonna do with the cornerback situation moving forward right now? What would y'all like to do? I understand it's a hot button too on certain actually platforms as well because Bland has been balling. So everybody's seen a couple of plays that he made against the Bears, and they're like, listen, why don't him and AB switch positions? Because he has great recovery speed and he's a short tackler. So, a lot of people say, hey, why don't they just put actually AB in the slot or bring in Boss Man? I'm like, Boss Man, his technique, he's not ready yet. Bland is the closest thing to AB's replacement that we have on the team right now. And I'm trying to tell him that. I said, listen, you got to understand, AB is a veteran. He has no confidence right now, but you can't replace him with somebody else who has bad technique. You can't put Wright on the field either because right now he's still the great unknown. So logically, you might have to switch him. I don't know. I don't think you have to do it against Green Bay, but against the Vikings, you might have to switch him. Because they're going to line Jefferson on AB all game. Wherever they see AB, Jefferson is going to be right there. They're going to try to stay away from Diggs. They're going to try to stay away from Diggs as much as possible. But they're going to try. I'm telling you, they did that last year. They did it as soon as they saw AB. Mr. Jefferson was on him. They put him in. They put him in the slot. They put him in motion. So we're gonna have to come up with some creative ways.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody is doing. As soon as they see AB, hell, Chicago went after him.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. I think that I definitely think that we need to groom our replacement for him. I don't know how long he's got on his contract, but it's definitely time for us to move past him. Because that seems like that is and we need another linebacker, in my opinion, is our weak spot on that defense.
What's up with Cox? I know Cox is better in passing downs, and Clark is just a better overall linebacker, but they have to find a way to get Cox on the field as well. I don't understand why they don't put him out there. I know Barr is hurt, and Liv is he's sometimey, but they're gonna have to actually find a way to put both of them on the field at the same time because when Parsons starts to rush the passer, you want to put some speed out there to cover the tight ends and the running backs out of the backfield. So I would like to see Cox and actually Clark on the field at the same time. I would love that. But it's up to, Dan Quinn and what he's seeing. I understand that he doesn't want to upset the apple cart right now with Liv, but Barr is injured, his hamstring, so he's not going to be out there for the next couple of games. So what, you want the running backs to run a lot of wheel routes on LVE, send the tight end straight at him? What are you gonna do? That's why you got to put Cox out there. Eventually, you're gonna have to put him out there
Well,
because
good
Clark
thing.
already showed you he has speed.
Well, good thing we have depth of safety. That's all I can say about that part.
Hey, don't forget now the Vikings have a good tight end. They traded for Hutchinson, so I mean they had a good tight end as well now. So that's what I'm saying. The Vikings gonna be that show me game.
That's what I'm saying. Good thing we got some depth at safety. You know, our safeties aren't too shabby. You know, we can rotate. We can have a good four-man rotation at safety if we have to, and if necessary, we could bring one down into the box and play nickel because I don't see Cook as a bruising back against us. You got to watch him in the passing game too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think that our safeties are going to are going to have to play a big game.
You think we're gonna start playing more? Well, we already play 4-2-5 anyway. We're playing more of a 4-2-5
Yeah,
and nickel package more than anything else. Anyway, bring the safety down. So against the Vikings, it's gonna be key.
yeah.
It's gonna be
They're,
key.
they're not
No,
they're not a power run team. They're a finesse team, and Kirk Cousins doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Um, but then again, it's the Cowboys. They're coming in, and then he hasn't fared too well against us these last few times that we played him. So, not looking past the Green Bay game, it'll be interesting. That's going to be the game of the week too. Cowboys and Vikings. So, and I'm tired of playing them up there. It seems like we always go up there
well,
late,
2 years
late.
ago they did come to Dallas and beat us on that stupid play that they called near the goal line when Big Red was here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was crazy. But I don't know, man. We're gonna see. I'm not overlooking Green Bay at all, but the Vikings game should be. That's the game. That's the statement game to me that we need to make. Right before we play the Giants is the Viking game because the Vikings have to play the Bills right now, and I don't know if Josh is gonna play, but Kirk Cousins is playing outdoors against the Bills Mafia as well in Buffalo, so it's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Because they lost to the Jets. They just lost to the Jets. So they're going to want to come out here and play well against the Vikings.
All right.
All right. Yes, sir.
Well, that being said, I'm gonna get back into these election polls before I take my tail to sleep. Uh, Looking forward to the game on Sunday. I missed Cowboys football last week because it wasn't on. Yes, I did watch a lot of the other teams. I refed a few games, so that took up some of my time. Excuse me, but for the most part, we're back. We're back. It's time to get this second half of the season going.
Oh, one last thing. The Redskins play the Eagles on Monday night too. We
Yeah.
ain't. That's gonna be a closer game than people actually suspect as well. The Eagles and the Redskins gonna play a close game, so we're gonna see.
Oh, of
I'm
course.
just happy.
I'm not. That's why I said I'm. The Eagles got to play. Their division. They got to come back through the division, and you can wipe records out when you play division games. Look at the Green Bay Giants the other day. Like I said, once the division games come along, records don't even matter. I don't care if the Eagles were 16-0 and they played the Redskins the last, or the Giants or the Cowboys at the end of the year. And I don't care about that. Well, we just sat our players. No, it's a division game. So somebody's gonna be playing hard. So,
Definitely.
well, Nick, you got any closing statements for tonight?
Um, no, just want to see a good game Sunday. Want us to come out hitting on all cylinders, just ready to play. And that's it. That's it for me, really. And just as everybody just keep me and my family in prayers as we travel to Louisiana on Thursday to bury my brother Saturday. I appreciate the text messages, the inboxes, phone calls from everyone with their condolences and their prayers and their condolences. So Again, I just ask y'all to just keep me and my family in prayer as we travel this road to do this um, heavy-hearted task. So,
Definitely. You definitely in my prayers, and if you need anything, y'all always know you can call. I got you.
Same here.
all right, right.
All right. Well, good night, everyone. Natalie says her condolences to you and your family.
Thanks, Natalie.
Well, definitely good night, everyone. I am, for those, if any of you are watching from the southeast coast, Florida, coast of Georgia and the Carolinas, be careful with this tropical storm that's coming that way.
Oh, wow. They got another storm?
Yeah, we got another tropical storm coming.
Mm.
Last tropical storm that came through here, not the hurricane, but the tropical storm that came through about 5 years ago, a tree fell on my car and totaled my car. So just because it's not hurricane level, don't mean it can't be bad. So
Right. That's
Mm.
that's that's exactly the truth. Exactly the truth. So I know I missed the part when y'all talking about the Eagles. Y'all say the Eagles were what now? Y'all think
Now
they gonna fall?
The Eagles play the Redskins on Monday night,
Oh, okay, okay.
and
I
so he
mean,
was pointing that
Redskins
out.
played hard though. They played the Vikings really hard. You know, they won that interception is what turned their game for them.
yep.
That late interception, is what turned their game for them. And Eagles haven't been a good second half team. And the way Houston exposed them Thursday night. Houston exposed them a lot Thursday night. So we'll see. We'll see how long they travel down this undefeated path. But every team that has done that, um, as they have been, every team that has done that has not made it to the Super Bowl, or either
Uh,
lost in the Super Bowl.
well, I'm going back to what was the Steelers a couple years ago
Yeah,
when
11-0.
11-0 and then didn't make the playoffs.
Now they made the playoffs, but they lost to
Yeah,
the Browns in the first
Browns
round.
in the first round. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah, so I'm the Cowboys are always going to be the on the spotlight because of the Cowboys. But when it comes to records right now, I'm kind of glad that we been under the radar. And I think we talked about that in the off season. When we lost Cooper and Gregory and Collins, and we didn't really replace them. I think one thing we said was that probably one of the best things for us is for us not to have expectations for these Cowboys, and maybe they would do better than what people were, because everybody was. I mean, oh my God, think about this off season.
Mm.
How many people complained that we're gonna suck and we're gonna be in last place, and then when Dak went down, how many people were saying it? And I think all of us said it's gonna be a long season. Every single one of us in this panel said, "Hey, why are we giving up? It's gonna be a long season," and it's still a long season.
Mm.
So anything can happen between now and the first or second week in February. So
You know, with that being out, that actually helped us. That actually helped Big Mike and Kellen Moore become better play callers because they couldn't rely on that. They had to rely on a backup. So, that was like a gift and a curse at the same time. So, I mean,
we found an
it worked in our
identity.
favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Now we got to pay Pollard. We go have to pay Pollard too. So, what we gonna do, Zeke? You gonna take that pay cut so we can sign Pollard? What you gonna do, Zeke? Talk to me, baby.
All right. Well, it's definitely old man time now.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
good. I
So
gotta
we
do
were
my
just
honey to-do list right now. Hey, honey, I'll be right there. Oh God, I just had to throw that out there.
and honey, I'm on my way to bed. All right then. We will see you guys next week, and I'll see you guys in the chat.
All right, good
yes,
night, everybody. God
yes. Good
bless.
night,
Be safe.
everybody.
And
Yes.
Good night.
Nikki, you be careful going to Louisiana.
I
Yes.
will. I will. I will.
Look at here.
I'll
They
be
just
back
said,
home early
Lisa,
Sunday.
here we go. Lisa, hey, we
'Cause
run
she's-
the house. What you
Well,
running, Lisa?
Well,
You
we
running
do.
around the house? You running around the house, you mean?
I
What
got
you
my
doing?
I got my brownie points tonight.
Whatever.
Yeah, you did. Speak softly next time, please. Speak very softly.
I
All right, y'all.
All right. Good
surely
night,
will.
everybody.
Good night.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, good
Bye.
night.
Good night.